This is an Ultrasabers Dark Initiate LE V5. It's very similar in design to the V4. It does have a few differences. It kind of like they added these claws to it in the emitter and the pommel, and then also there's kind of a different style of the grip section, or the grooves in the grip section here, and then also at the top. But overall, the most of the base part of the hilt is actually really pretty much the same as the V4. But let's take a closer look at some of the different features here. So we've got this, standard 1-inch diameter blade emitter at the top. This is a 2-piece hilt. So there's the kind of main body here, and then the removable pommel. Now we have this interesting clawed emitter where the claws are actually pointed down, and so one kind of downside of that is, if you're holding the hilt, that you can kind of run your top hand kind of into the claws here. So that's a little bit of a downside, and you see it kind of entirely blocks off this choke point on the hilt. Now, there are some tutorials out there. I've seen people flip these around. So these claws are actually press fit into the hilt. So basically you can pry them off. They've got 2 pins in there, flip it, and then just kind of, use maybe a rubber mallet and kind of pound them back into the hilt. So somewhat easy process that I've seen some people attempt. So, consider that as an option, which of course you would do at your own risk and carefully. But at any rate, it does still have like a cool look to it. And, there's sort of spines or claws, or however you want to kind of look at that. And there's 3 of them. So it has a little bit of that kind of Revan hilt type of feel to it, but, much shorter, of course. And then we've got these windows cut into the emitter as well. So they're kind of that classic vertical stadium shape. So the claws are actually covering up a window. So there's sort of a obstructed view to the window, if you'd call it that, where the claws are. Now we have these little kind of cuts here. It's sort of this V cut into the grooves here. And there's silver accents throughout. So this is the Dark Initiate LE V5 lightsaber, and LE stands for limited edition, but that means you have some color accents to the hilt. If you get the standard Dark Initiate, it just would be all black. Now there's the AV switch hole, and below that a bit of a taper, so you can use that for kind of maneuvering and control. And then here's kind of the main part of the grip section, more of those notches kind of encircling the grooves, or the top. It's kind of extruded rings actually there maybe, and then some grooves between. And then there's another kind of recessed area, or slightly another section, that you could maybe use for control. And then finally we have these very kind of complementary claws in the pommel, or claw-like things. They're more like spines because they don't really have a point at the end of them. But you can see they've got a similar cut to the upper part of the hilt. There's just kind of a sloping area there, and then that's complementary to the one at the top of the hilt. And then there's actually more. There's more claws or spines on the pommel. So we've got how many? 6 of them. So there's twice as many in the pommel area. You can see this is a non-vented pommel. So you would use this for a saber without sound. Like many of the Ultrasabers hilts, the pommel is MHS compatible. So MHS is the modular hilt system by the Custom Saber Shop, and it's compatible with MHS V1, I should say, because Custom Saber Shop has MHS V1 and then V2. So you could swap this pommel out for something else from Ultrasabers or from the Custom Saber Shop. It does look nice with these kind of color accents to it. If you're looking for more of the tactical black kind of look, you could just get the standard Initiate LEV5. There we go. But yeah, this is one of the more basic hilts that Ultrasabers offers. It's sort of a starter one. Now, if you're looking for dueling, just factor in the claws, especially since they're pointed down. But even when they're pointed up, claws are kind of a bit of a variable when you're dueling, and you know, you want to maybe make sure you have gloves and just kind of factor in safety matters with that. But here it is, you guys. So this is a look at the Ultrasabers Dark Initiate LEV5, one of the more basic hilts from Ultrasabers. Feel free to comment below.